What's going on, guys? I'm here in the new apartment, and today I wanted to bring y'all with me to the gym to work out with me. I've pretty much done my morning routine, everything that I had to get done this morning. It's 11:42. Morning basically just consisted of chores, getting in my morning, I don't know if you guys saw that, getting in my morning meals for the day, journaling, getting my mind right, and just making sure that I start the day off on the right foot. Now, I know that I post a lot of videos trying to help you guys get started on your journey, get where you want to be, become the ultimate athlete, look like you have a lean and toned physique. And that is a lot of the videos that I aim to post, is like giving you real information that you can implement into your lifestyle, so that you can get those results. However, I think that's important that I share myself with you guys as well, like my life and what I'm doing, what I'm going through, what I'm training for, because it's easy for me to tell you, like, eat these things, do these things, live this way, whatever. But I think it means more to show it to you and to just kind of talk to you guys and not always just be like, let me break down a chart about how you should look at what you're going to do to determine what you should eat. I'll always keep posting videos like that because I'm just a nerd about that shit. I genuinely like to talk about it. I'm a nerd about training, but the reason that I do these things isn't because, all I care about is my physique and I do whatever I need to do to maintain it. Yes, I am blessed, like insanely blessed, that I was able to bust my ass through college and work really hard and then be able to quit my job and train and coach people full time. Like, yes, I'm so blessed that I get to do that. But I created that life for myself because it was what I wanted. And that life that I built for myself, where I can live in my apartment, I can do all these things and live my dream life, started because I started with the transformation of my physique. Because really, like, what I wanted wasn't a new physique. Like, yes, I did. But I think the real transformation that I wanted was just being an entirely different person. I just want that to be a testament to doing what I know needs to be done to get where I want to be. One of my goals was to be able to live the life that I do now, where I get to have fun doing health and wellness, and like I feel fulfilled and I feel inspired and I feel a lot more than I did when I was working any other job. I used to be a bartender. It was great, but it was a lot of meaningless conversation. I'm not the world's biggest drinker. I used to be when I was struggling with stuff, but I'm not anymore. And it was just not really the crowd that kind of saw the mindset that I had and resonated with me. And, the other day somebody commented on one of my videos asking a question about, getting through tough times, getting through the thick of it. And I posted a video in response to it to answer her in case she was going through a tough time, in case anyone else was going through a tough time. But I want to say, like, the times don't get easier. Like, when I was wanting to transform my physique and I was struggling with binging, where I would, like, eat one thing and the whole box of it would be gone. I would feel shame when I ate something that I knew I didn't want to eat. I would hide wrappers in the trash can, especially when I knew people were coming over, when I knew that my friends were around, when my family was around. I would do that because I was ashamed of myself using binging to cope, and then ashamed that I was using binging to cope and that I couldn't just be confident or handle it. The same way I felt then and getting through that struggle is still how I feel now, to a certain degree. Like, I'm not struggling with the same things, I'm struggling with different things. I'm going through different things. And I want to let you know that life it never gets easier. It will not get easier. Yes, I have the most amazing life ever. I'm so blessed and I love it. And I know that half of the reason that I feel that way, more than half probably, is because of you guys who comment and DM, and especially the people that I coach. I love them to death. Like, I love getting to be their coach and I love getting to make these videos, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going through things as well. And so I thought it's unfair for me to always tell you guys, oh, this is how you do this and this is how you do this and this is what you eat and this is how you train and this is how you get through hard things and this is how you do tough stuff, without showing you me going through those things and then me struggling with that stuff too. I have gotten stronger. Life has not gotten easier. That's kind of the message that I'm trying to portray here. And that's why I wanted to bring you guys with me to the gym today, because I really felt like I wanted to talk to you guys. No, did I really want to record today? No, I wanted to be able to work out, put my headphones in, and do this like solo and on my own, because I am, I am struggling. I am going through a little rut. I am having a tough time. And 9 times out of 10, when I am going through a tough time, which I know that a lot of people experience this as well, it's because they let go of whatever one of the pillars that kind of makes them them. Recently, we've been moving. I've been really struggling to hit my 20K steps a day, right? Some days I get from like 10 to 15. I try to aim for like getting close to 20, but it's just been so hard. And that's on me. And then those little things that I'm slowly letting go of are making me get stuck in this rut or making me feel this way. I've been so tired lately, and I don't know, like I go through things just as much as everybody else does. And I want to share that with you guys, because I think that it will help you if you're going through a tough time. And all the videos that I make are tailored to younger me. And younger me never saw anyone share their vulnerability, or at least wherever I was looking for it. And that was very specific to my journey. Like, yeah, people were vulnerable, but it wasn't like someone who really went through the same things that I did. And younger me thought that things were going to go differently. I didn't know what this journey entailed. I didn't know what being able to do what I do now meant. I didn't know what I was going to go through. And it was a hard journey. Like, I've been through a lot of stuff that I know for a fact a lot of people would just let that totally derail them, because I know it used to derail me a lot. And so that's why I wanted to bring you guys along with me today. I wanted to show y'all me getting through a tough time. I'm documenting everything that I can when I'm having tough days. I'm going to document this whole entire prep that I'm going to go through for bodybuilding. And I'm also going to document my recomposition, because the recomposition I'm in now, or my summer shred, is a phase in that prep. I want to preface my prep and anything else I decide to do in the future. It is for no one else except for me. I am obviously very proud of myself and my body for being able to do things that some people wish they could do, and they probably will be able to do one day, especially if they're watching this video. If you have a goal in your head right now, if you are watching this video, hear it from me right now that you will get there, because I'm going to show you how to suffer, how to move forward, and that we all suffer, and that it's no easier for me than it is for you. I promise. It's all about strengthening your mind. And so if you have a goal in your head right now, or you're struggling to get to that goal, and that's why you click on this video, I'm here to tell you, pre-congrats, because I know that you're going to get there. Now, like I said, I do those things purely for me, right? Running the marathon, training, doing the bodybuilding show. I'm not chasing some trophy. I'm not chasing some recognition or some title. I learned, obviously now being able to reflect, I understand this, but at the time I didn't understand it. And I used to be very insecure, frustrated, unfulfilled. Things felt meaningless, and it was because I wasn't experiencing anything. And when I say experiencing anything, I was too scared to take a risk because I wanted to stay comfortable. Yet I had the audacity to be frustrated that I wasn't fulfilled, that I didn't feel anything, that I didn't, live my life like I saw others living their lives. And experiencing things is basically just allowing yourself to get hurt by situations that are going to hurt, because when you do that, you're also opening up the opportunity for you to feel situations that bring you utmost joy. And for a long time in my life, I spent so many days fabricating a peak. And life is a series of peaks and valleys. And what that looked like for me was, fabricating a peak was that instant gratification, that binge to get me that dopamine, that, impulsive purchase to get me that dopamine that probably wasn't the best for my budget at the time or whatever. Or making those decisions in the moment that gratified me and sort of artificially created a peak that made me experience less valleys. However, it just kept me at this straight line, and I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing. I didn't feel fulfilled. I wasn't happy. I just felt like I was living life on autopilot and nothing really mattered. And at that time, I was unhappy with my body, with myself, because I was always choosing comfort. I was trying to gratify myself using forms of self-sabotage that appear as gratification in the moment to the untrained eye, but in reality, it's delaying the true fulfilling gratification that's often delayed. And I did not understand that until going through, like, even when I transformed my physique for the first time. And my girlfriend made a comment about this the other day because I was building a timeline of my entire story, and I was putting up pictures, and she was like, "Oh, is that when you were in prep?" And I said, "No, that was I think I was like 18 or 19 in that picture." And she was like, "Oh, like I thought that you just went through bodybuilding prep and that's where you got your physique." And I was like, "No, I like in the picture I had abs and I had some definition." And she was like, "Oh, like I thought you got all that from prep." And I was like, "No, I didn't get that from bodybuilding prep. I'm trying to preach to people that you don't need to go through prep to look like that." But at that time, I didn't understand my journey and my pain. I didn't understand it until now. And I look back at everything. So when I started in the gym, transforming my physique for the first time, didn't pay attention to my mindset, didn't pay attention to my brain, just went to the gym, logged my lifts, tried to figure out everything that I could. And now I understand, and this is also why I preach it to you guys, about how this is just as much of a psychological journey as it is a physical one. Now, I don't want to get all woo-woo and going into the bathroom and chanting mantras to yourself in the mirror, but your brain is more powerful than you think when you are in control of it and you have the reins and you have full control. That's when you'll see the exponential growth. And I did not realize that. And so the reason that I had gone through the prep and everything that I do, the training, all that stuff, is because in those moments, it's reflecting back to me where I am lacking, right? Going through difficult things like that, it's not only making me more grateful for the times that I have now, but it's also me committing myself to something and saying, I will show up, I will do whatever it takes, no matter what, no matter how I feel, and I'm teaching myself how to be disciplined. Do people have to go through a bodybuilding prep or run a marathon to be able to get the results that I did, to be able to have the life that I did? No. I don't want you guys to get that confused. That's why I say I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not a runner. I do these things because of the mental growth that it yields. The stronger I become mentally, the more I'm able to maintain not just a physique that I'm happy with, but a lifestyle that I'm happy with. Had I not allowed myself to suffer, I would not be where I am today. I would not have the body that I have, I would not have the mind that I have, and I would not have the life that I'm so damn thankful for if I didn't let myself suffer. And the reason why I didn't progress and I didn't make results, and it took so much longer for me when I was younger, was because I ran from that suffering. I ran from it. I would get drunk. I know for a fact that if any of my friends from back when I was the old me would watch my videos, were to see where I am now or see what I'm doing now, I know I'm still close with a couple of them, but they would probably be like, there's no way that's the same girl. They would literally say that. And that is the kind of transformation I wanted. What I used to be was a front because I didn't want to accept that, damn, I didn't like where I was. I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like the way that I acted. I didn't like the way that I carried myself, the standard that I held myself to. I did not like that. But I would just play it off because it was easier to play it off and to be this like clown or whatever, because it made me seem like I was in control and I had more power and like I didn't care. When in reality, deep down, I knew I cared. I knew that I wanted to be someone that people would respect. And I think that I wanted to be someone that people would respect mainly because I didn't respect myself. Yeah, I was just coping with a lot of things and I didn't want anyone to see that it was hurting me, that I wasn't where I wanted to be. And so I just played it off like I was just some idiot that was always drunk and doing crazy shit and whatever. Once you're okay and give yourself grace with, okay, you've let it go this long, it's time to get a change, instead of like self-sabotaging yourself and kind of hating yourself for it. And you're just like, all right, it's time to wake up. That is self-love. And I'm not the whole self-love, like, it's okay if you're fat, it's okay if you skip and you never show up and if you're tired. That's not self-love to me. I think self-love to me is forgiving how long it took you to accept it and how long it took you to stand up, but then holding yourself to a new standard and holding yourself accountable and raising the bar. I don't know if you guys have heard that story about the guy or whatever that ran the 4-minute mile. Everyone thought it was, I only know this loosely. I think I saw it somewhere, well, maybe my reels or maybe somebody was talking about it, but it put some things into perspective for me. And I thought, wow, okay, that, it helped me understand. And then I'm going to relate it to basically getting through a tough time. They used to think it was humanly impossible to run a 4-minute mile. And this is the too long don't read version. And then somebody ran a 4-minute mile, and the next thing you know, so many other people could run the 4-minute mile. And in my fitness journey and just in my life journey in general, I knew from like 17 or 18 that I had a life that I wanted to live, a life that I wanted to build. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. I knew that I wanted to, I knew all the things that I wanted, but I didn't know what it was going to look like, obviously. And I was also running from pain. Now, the 4-minute mile story I'm going to apply to my take on suffering and pain. I would avoid any kind of painful situation, confrontation, a breakup, admitting to myself that I was acting like a loser, so I was going to stay a loser if I didn't change. I would run from that because I didn't know I could get through it. And suddenly, when I was forced, not even on my own volition, when I was forced by other people, like let's say I went through a really tough breakup and they wanted to leave and there was nothing I could do about it, that showed me, it forced me into that, it pushed me into it, and it showed me, wait, like, it hurt, but you're okay. You are breathing. Like, you suffered and you're all right. Once I picked myself up and pieced myself back together, and I was like, all right, you're different. You've grown. You've learned. I started to realize, okay, if I willingly try myself and test myself and push myself into suffering, I can almost manufacture mental growth, catalysts for mental growth. And so I was like, okay, the answers that I'm looking for, the life that I want, it lies in the things that I'm avoiding. What did I used to avoid? Confrontation, painful situations, whether it be confrontation with myself or with relationships. And also any relationship, whether it be a friendship or a romantic one. And then also any hardship, anything that you try to do, whether it be training for a marathon, bodybuilding, all those things reflect back to you where your weak points are. Use it as data. Learn from the things that you do, the pain that you feel, and the stuff that you experience, so it's not for nothing. Yes, emotions are very strong and very powerful, but when we remove emotions from everything, you can see that everything has a rhyme and a reason. The life that you want, think of it as like a cake. If there's something wrong with the life that you want, right? You don't look how you want to look. You don't work how you want to work. You don't have your business. You don't do your job the way that you want to do your job. You don't have the money that you want to have. You don't have the life that you want to have. You don't have the partner that you want to have. You don't have the good relationship with your friends, with your kids, with your spouse. Look at the ingredients that have been put into that cake batter. Look at it's an equation. Okay, you look at it. There's a step-by-step process that gives you the cake that you desire. If you are not liking the cake that you're seeing in your life, or you're not liking your life, go back to the recipe. It is not random. Things are just not, they're not, yes, there are variables that are out of your control, but for the most part, if you want your life to be a certain way, take that control. Take that shit. Be okay with suffering. My main goal for my personal development on this channel, apart from helping everyone that watches me get absolutely diced and shredded and be confident in themselves, is to build myself to be unbreakable. Now, I know that's kind of corny, but in a way that anything could happen and I will not be rattled. I will not be shaken. That's what I'm going to try to do on this prep here. On this prep, I'm going to go through, I'm going to document it for you guys, and I'm going to show up every single day until show day, and then every day after that, and not let life get to me at all. That is what I'm going to do. You guys are going to watch me grow as a person. You're going to watch my physique develop. You're going to watch me go through all of this. I'm going to post it for you guys, and we're going to do it together. I'm going to document my entire journey, because by no means am I where I want to be. No shot. No chance. I'm not where I want to be yet, and you guys are going to watch me get there. And you guys know I'm going to get there because I know that I'm going to get there because I've gotten where I am now, where I can live my life and be the happiest, most fulfilled person ever. I get to go on walks every day in the sunlight through the beautiful neighborhood. I get to go for a swim whenever I desire to go for a swim. I get to go on beautiful vacations with my girlfriend. We just got back from Mexico. She took me to Boston for my birthday. I am living the life that I thought that I was going to be living when I was like 40 or 50. But when I was like 17, 18, I put that before everything else, and I said, I know the life that I want, I'm going to create it. So do it with me. Watch me grow. Watch me create the rest of what it is that I want. And I hope that this will inspire you to do the same, because nobody deserves to live a life where they're unhappy, where they're not confident, where they're insecure, where they feel like they can't be themselves, like they can't go out and take their shirt off and be confident, like they can't go out with friends and be confident in what they do, what they stand for, the things that they say, and the habits that they have. No one deserves to live a life like that. All right, so let's go get this lift. So you guys know that obviously I do coaching. I'll have my one-to-one application. Ooh, it just got bright. I'll have my one-to-one application probably in the description of this video. But I'm building a community here that's just going to work on developing your mindset and conditioning your mind, and then also giving you all the tools that you need to be able to do the same with your body. And then we'll do like competitions, challenges, and stuff. And everyone in here will be training for something super cool that helps them pursue growth. I'm working on building that. It takes a long time because I'm really trying to make it amazing and trying to take what I learned in my story and put it into something that can be applicable to other people's journeys and stories, and being as real and as vulnerable as I can, and, you know, showing you guys that struggle happens. This is what it looks like, because oftentimes we know struggle will happen, but we don't know what it'll look like. So just keeping you guys updated on that. I'm working on building it. All right, guys, now it's time to go lift. I realized that I'm wearing a hat that I wear quite often. If you're ever wondering why I wear this hat, I went through one of the toughest times in my life when I was living in Arizona. And it taught me so much about myself and about my journey and about life. And I'll probably make another video about that. I know that a lot of people can resonate with that, because I used to not be able to even sit. I couldn't sit, and it was another thing of avoiding pain. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't let my thoughts, you know, I couldn't hear my thoughts. And so many people were like, oh, I can't be alone, or I can't not watch TV, or I can't not listen to music, or I can't not scroll. And when I was in Arizona alone, living in like the countryside and Phoenix, so I was bouncing between those two places, I was alone every day, every second of every day, all the time. And I was intentional about silence and allowing my thoughts to come out and feel them and think them and get through things. So that taught me a lot too. That's why I wear the hat. In case any of you guys were wondering, you're probably like, this girl wears the same hat almost every day. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I also love hats. So let's go ahead and drive to the gym. So we are in the beautiful, wonderful, amazing, my hometown, Houston, Texas. We're gonna drive to the gym now. I work out at a pretty small private gym. It's awesome. I love it. It's got the good vibes. It's a gritty gym. I'm not one for the commercial gym. I used to love Gold's. That's the one exception I will make. All the other gyms, The EOS's here are so crowded. 24-hour, that was like the very first gym that I ever worked out at. So it's my roots, but not my favorite. But yeah, we're gonna drive on to the gym, and then we're gonna get there. I'm gonna lock in right now and get a playlist going to get me all hyped up for my workout. But I will see you guys once we arrive at the gym. So we're gonna start off with incline press. I like this curved bar because it allows me to get a deep stretch. Not that a deep stretch necessarily means more hypertrophy, but it allows me to get better mind and muscle connection and allows me to feel the movement better. And I also just happen to prefer it. But I'm still getting used to using it, because the bar path allows my arms to get as much depth as possible. So we're gonna go on with the 25s and see how we feel. I wanna scoop my bench up a little bit. Well, guys. You watched me fail. Ugh. That felt nice. That felt really nice. I'm starting to sweat more, so we're gonna lose it's 91 degrees. It's a garage gym in Houston, so I'm starting to sweat more. We're gonna lose the heavyweight shirt and probably put my hair up. I don't like to put my hair in a ponytail. I like to let it be free. But when I'm sweating and I get sticky, nah, I'm gonna put it up. All right, so we're going in for the second set now. It's gonna be a pretty chill day. It's not gonna take that long. We're doing 4 sets of the press, and we're gonna move into dips, AMRAP. So I'm gonna do as many as I can do, because I can only do a few body weight dips just fresh, like I think maybe like 8 to 10. So if I'm gonna be doing them after I've already done a press and then going straight into those, I'm already gonna be a bit fatigued, so I'm not expecting to be able to do that many, since that's what I usually do when I'm fresh. So I'm gonna do 4 sets of those, as many as possible. Then I'll move into a wide grip row and then a barbell row. Doing a wide grip in order to help develop my back thickness. So that's going to be making my elbows be flared out. I'm gonna have my thumbs out. Instead of keeping my elbows close to my body, I'm gonna be pulling with a more wider grip and have some more shoulder abduction to be able to hit those muscle groups that will develop my back thickness. It'll also indirectly be targeting lats. In majority of back movements, you can't just isolate one thing, but you can bias certain things, but you can't isolate them truly 100%. After I do those 2 movements, I'm gonna end off with lateral raises, because I am indirectly hitting the front delt when I do this incline press here. And dips as well. For my dips, I'm gonna slightly lean forward a little bit to get more front delt activation. Oof. Okay, my left arm really started lacking there. All right, so now we're gonna do those dips I was talking about. I'm gonna slightly lean forward to target my front delts as well. I do my chest and my front delts together because they're obviously both indirectly hit when I'm doing either or. And so if you're wondering why I want to target my front delt, I don't really want too much more pec development just from personal preference. However, I do want more front delt development and overall delt development as well. So that's what I'm gonna do with this set right here. I'm doing body weight. I'm gonna do as many as I can. I'm gonna do as many as I can because I'm pretty fatigued from that incline bench set. Yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Pushed so hard I got a cramp there in my hamstring. All right, guys, we're getting into the pull downs now, and then we're gonna do some rows, and then you know that we're going to do some lateral raises. All right, so we need to get the wide grip attachment, and then we can get right into the working set, get into the movement, and get these gains, guys. I'm about to do the wide grip pull downs. With these, again, I'm trying to develop my back thickness, and so these aren't biased towards targeting the lats. They will hit the lats, but I'm more so going to be flaring my shoulders and going a little bit lighter in weight so that I'm able to get full contraction with my shoulder blades so that I can get that back thickness that I'm looking for. So I'm probably gonna go a little bit lighter because I was struggling to get my shoulder blades where I wanted them to be. I wanted it to be similar to if I were to imagine if I was like squeezing a pencil between them. And that weight was a little bit heavier than I anticipated it to be, especially in the later reps. So it made it hard for me to get that full stretch. And so I'm gonna lower the weight so that I can get that, because obviously I'm gonna prioritize proper form for what I'm trying to target and not just an arbitrary number on the weight stack. So I'm gonna do the same principles over here on my barbell rows, keeping my grip wide and then my elbows flared out as I'm trying to develop my back thickness. Now on this movement as well, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a lower weight because since I have that wider grip, I'm not having as much help from my biceps, and I wanna make sure that I'm able to get that full contraction with my shoulder blades to be able to act as if I'm squeezing a pencil. And if I go with a heavier weight, it's going to be harder for me to get that full range of motion, therefore making the movement inefficient just because I wanna add more weight on it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into those right now. So as you guys know, I'm documenting my recomposition. So you guys are gonna see me leaning out. You're also going to see me embark on my prep, like I've already mentioned. I'm gonna document that for you. So this is one of those workouts that I'm working on developing my weak points. Whew, it is a hot one today. My shirt did not last very long. I'm in a garage style gym. I don't know if you guys can see. This is where I'm at. This is what it looks like. It's rarely ever crowded, and I get to work out and have a literal blast just like every day. It's time for my rest to be over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into my next set. So now we're gonna go over to the dumbbell rack and we're going to get some dumbbells to be able to do our lateral raises to top off this workout. I might be able to carry both. No, I won't. Not in one hand. Am I crazy? Because we're going to rock with 20s to do our lateral raises today. I'm gonna try it out. I hope my arms aren't too fatigued, but we're gonna see. Actually, I'm gonna start with the 20s, then I'm gonna do a drop set once I can't do the 20s any longer, since I was able to get about 7. I'm gonna see how many I can do next set after I rest here for about a minute 30. And then I'm going to see how many I can do after I drop the 20s with the 15. So I'm gonna go grab those. Ooh. All right, guys, I'm sweating. That drop set was brutal. We have one more. We're doing 3 sets of the superset, drop set, whatever. Superset. It's a drop set, not superset. Sorry. Use that old faithful hat, guys. Right here. It's a dark sport hat. I'm not crazy over dark sport. I mean, I'm not someone who like religiously buys gym clothes. I really don't give a fuck about gym clothes. This is what the physique is looking like as we recomposition. I want to make sure I'm able to build muscle too. I'm not just concerned with shredding, but I am about 10 pounds down or so. But yeah, this is what we're looking like. Clothes fit different. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do my last set and that's gonna wrap up my workout. I will see you guys when I'm all done and dusted. All right, guys, I'm gonna put the headphones on now and I'm gonna do a couple sled pulls walking backwards. I do a lot of backwards walking, whether it be on the treadmill or this weighted, because it helps with my knee pain. You can do backwards walking. Sometimes I'll do it on the treadmill, turn it off and just push the belt for some resistance. This time I'm going to do it walking backwards, pulling this sled. This is the weight that somebody left on here, so I'm gonna see if I can do it. If not, I'll just take off some of the weight. So we're gonna go ahead and just get right into that. Camera's slightly crooked, but I know that you guys don't care because the information's the same whether the camera's crooked, straight, or fucking upside down. But let's put this little bad boy on. Oh, I need to move the Nordic curl machine. Nordic curls, if you're not doing this for hamstring development, you're missing out. I've noticed significant strength what am I doing? I need the part with the wheels on the ground. I've noticed a significant, sorry guys, I'm so tired from the workout. I've noticed a significant increase. Am I even in the frame? Probably not. I've noticed a significant increase in my hamstring strength as well as just my overall mind to muscle connection when I started implementing those Nordic curls. And they're really hard, but I'm getting better at them. Let's see if this is too heavy. I'm gonna get music going. I'm probably gonna do a couple set of these. Sorry. I'm probably just gonna do a couple set of these just to make sure my knees feel good. Oh, this is pretty heavy. But we're getting somewhere. This is killing my quads as well. These are just things that I do to help prevent any knee pain while I'm running. All right, guys, completed. I just got that bad boy. I pushed him a couple more times. I want to say like I did down and back 4 times. I recorded some of that for my Instagram too. On one of them, let's see if I can show you guys. I did a dip on the bars, but they were unstable, and you guys know that I'm shot. My dips are shot right now. All right, guys, so that completes my chest and back day. Now I had to modify my training session to be able to do this. And something that I learned from today's lift was I used to really strive for perfect when I struggled to make progress, and half the reason I got stuck was because I wanted everything to be perfect. I had to modify my workout today. I had to do chest and back. I don't normally do chest and back together. I usually do chest, shoulders, and triceps, and then I'll do back, biceps, rear delts, probably deadlift on that day as well. I've been moving, and so I've had a really hectic schedule, and so there was only a day this week where I could go and get in like 30 minutes, so I hit triceps, shoulders, and biceps in that day, and so I had to put chest and back together because I only had time to get in a quick arm workout. That little sled pull thing was part of my cardio. I'm gonna get some more steps in for the rest of the day. Probably gonna go on a date tonight with my girlfriend and then live my best life. I'm debating going home and just hopping in the pool, getting a nice swim, and then rest, recovery. Post-workout meal today, it's probably going to be maybe a chicken bowl or... So the key meal or the key things that you want in your post-workout meal are obviously going to be protein for muscle protein synthesis so that you can increase your muscle mass. I go for post-workout, I go for a quick digesting protein, so protein that's low in fat. You guys know, I tell you all the time, fats take a little bit longer to digest. So in order to get your protein in your system and have it metabolized and digested as fast as possible, I'm going to opt to do a protein that's lower in fat. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm a little tired. And then a carb source. I center majority of my carbs in the day pre and post workout to give me energy so that I can perform well and push hard in the gym, and then also to promote proper rest and recovery. So depending on what I want when I get home, it may be something lower in fiber. I'm gonna go with either a bread, depending on what, no, I don't have any bread left actually. I'm gonna go with either potatoes or rice. Probably gonna go with potatoes. Actually, I had potatoes the other day. I'm gonna go with rice today. And then I might have an egg white omelet or a protein shake. Whichever one I don't have, I'm going to have later with dinner. Dinner is when I'm going to have a little bit of a fattier protein. So that's going to be something like steak or ground beef or maybe salmon, depending on what I'm in the mood for later. But I am going on a date with my girlfriend. So if I do go out, maybe I'll go order a steak. My favorite meat is flank steak. So I love beef fajitas. If you're from Houston, you know Lupe Tortilla. I used to work there. I used to be a bartender there. But that don't change anything. They got the best fajitas in town. So good. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video helps you if you're struggling through a hard time, or maybe if you don't know what to do in the gym, you saw a good example of what a workout can be like. It can be quick and efficient, and a lot of those movements that I did in my workout are movements that I enjoy. Yes, you will see people on social media talking about what's the most optimal, should you use a cable or a dumbbell. Yes, take those things into consideration. Take science into consideration when you're planning things, but also choose what you like. I say the same thing with nutrition. Take nutrition principles and science into consideration when you're trying to lose fat. Don't cut that out because that's the only way it's going to work. However, you can fill that calorie deficit or whatever your meal plan is with things that you enjoy, and you can do the same thing with your lifts so long as you're not doing stupid shit. Now, there are a couple rules with that, which I will talk about in another video. As always, guys, if you want to comment something down below for me to break down, for me to talk about, whether it be actual training or nutrition principles or discussing mindset and getting through tough times, I'd be more than happy to do so for y'all. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all so much for watching. Ooh, I need some water. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to work with me one-to-one to be your coach, I will leave the application description of this video. If you want to join my community, comment down below and I'll reach out to you, or DM me on Instagram for any information regarding coaching or regarding the community. Or if you need help with anything at all and you want me to personally respond to my Instagram, I will send you a voice message there. I think I've said this about 1,000,000 times, but that's just because I feel it so deeply. I love y'all so much. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to do hard shit and be confident, have the courage to be uncomfortable, but most importantly, do not forget how much I am rooting for you and how much I love you guys. I hope to see you guys succeed. I love to see your comments telling me about how much you're progressing, and I hope that you guys find my channel helpful because that is what I'm here for. I'll see you guys in the next video.